Ayo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10, and what I got for you today is some more NBA 2K23 Next Gen. Now, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen, the build we have today happens to be the #1 ultimate flash Dwyane Wade build in NBA 2K23 Next Gen. And let me just say, I originally started making this build the moment I heard that they've officially notified him that he was going to be in the Hall of Fame for this year, so you know I had to make one. Now, getting straight into the build, as most of you know, Dwyane Wade was the starting shooting guard, right-handed, jersey number 3 for the Miami Heat, infamously known for having had people call it Wade County. Now, height-wise, he apparently does come in at like 6'3" 3/4", but we kept him at 6'4", whilst apparently weighing in at about 209 pounds and having a wingspan of about 6'11". Now, body shape-wise, as I always say, it doesn't really make an effect on the gameplay, personally speaking, so you can go with whatever you want. However, me personally, I like to go with compact just because it does look a little bit smoother when you're playing it, but because it is a Dwyane Wade build, we will be going defined because, yeah, in his prime, the boy was defined. Now, before we get into the skill breakdown for this build, I do gotta say a special shout out to all of you for all the support you've been showing to the channel, whether it's watching videos, liking videos, disliking videos, or generally dropping a comment, as well as subscribing. Because, yeah, as most of you know, we haven't uploaded for about 10 days or 2 weeks nearly, and it's mainly because I got exams, so I'm kind of busy. However, I did decide I should at least post one thing, which is this build, because I did make it a little bit ago, and I really wanted to post it, but just got busy with exams. But I do also gotta say, show a little bit more support, you know what I'm saying? Not show a little bit more. If you could, please do show a little bit more support. Do me a favor, go ahead down below and drop a like on the video because it does help with the YouTube algorithm and getting these videos out there. Plus, it does help when I'm trying to grind out some of the builds because low-key at the moment, I'm trying to max out the SGA build that I made last and get it up to like a 90 or something and then show you guys some gameplay with that. If you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, don't forget to do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning post notifications on. We haven't been losing subscribers that much since I stopped posting, but we have been losing a few, so do me a favor, go ahead and hit that if you're not subscribed yet. And lastly but not least, don't forget to go down below and drop a comment telling me what other builds you want to see me make on the channel, or generally what other videos you want to see. Exams will be done at the end of next week, so we should be back to our usual schedule. Now, physicals wise, we decided to go with a 92 on the stamina to start with, because again, this is a shooting guard build, so you'll be using it quite a bit. When it came to the vertical, went with an 85 to allow you to get those pro, small, and elite contact dunks. And then of course on the strength side of things, didn't really mess with it too much, one with the 36, as well as having a 90 XL on this build, which is the max we could get, paired up with an 80 on the speed, because again, the boy is the Flash. Now, I do know some of you might say, why not go a little bit higher on the speed? It's personally because if we did, we wouldn't be able to get all of the other great Dwyane Wade attributes we're used to. First things being first, you got to go with a 93 on the driving dunk to get all elite contact dunks, as well as the ability of getting that gold posterizer, as well as gold limitless take. When it came to the driving layup, decided to go with an 81 because we were aiming to get Hall of Fame Giant Slayer, as well as this does allow us the capabilities of getting that nice little James Harden driving layup package. And then when it came to the close shot, just left it at a 56. Now, as you can see, this does allow us to get 17 total finishing badges. Key thing here is you can get posterizer and core limitless takeoff, and then you can mess around with the tier 1s and tier 2s depending on how you feel. Now, shooting wise, Dwyane Wade was not known as one of the greatest shooters in the league. If anything, he was known as one of the he's one of the greatest players with one of the worst shooting percentages when it comes to certain areas. However, as we do know, he did have a decent percentage for mid, so we decided to give him an 84 when it came to the mid-range jump shot, just because he was nice when it came to it. And then when it came to the 3-ball, we decided to be a little bit generous and give him a 74, which does allow you the capabilities of getting that bronze limitless range. Now, free throw wise, as you can guess, put this up to an 82 because this build, if it's Dwyane Wade like, needs to be able to hit free throws. Plus, if you're aiming to take it into the Pro-Am or the Rec, you will need a free throw rating in order to be able to knock down a lot of those. Now, in total, this does allow you to finish with 19 total shooting badge points. Again, I would personally hang around the tier 1, tier 2, because this is not a 3-point shooting build, so you don't need the Agent 3s or limitless range too tough. And then Deadeye, of course, it's up to you, but I'd then most likely core blinders and mess around with all 19 in tier 1s to tier 2s. Now, playmaking wise, with any Dwyane Wade flash build, you got to get at least gold quick first step. So we went with an 86 on the ball handle because it allows us to get that gold quick first step paired along with silver mismatch expert and silver killer combos. Pass accuracy wise, put this up to a 75. This was more due to what we could do. And then of course on the speed with ball side, put this up to a 79 so we could get that extra badge point, allowing us to get a grand total of 21 total playmaking badge points. Again, if my personal opinion, core killer combos probably slap on mismatch expert because a lot of the 2 guards, a lot of people actually in this game run builds that are over the height of 6'6". And then obviously you got to get that gold quick first step, hyperdrive, unpluckable, and then from there it's a choice of what you really want to do with things. Now defensively, this is where the build also stands out because it's mostly, you know, Dwyane Wade is one of the best two-way players to have ever played in the league. The boy did lead, technically I say he did lead, he leads all shooting guards in blocks all time. So we decided to firstly give him an 86 when it came to the perimeter defense, just because as you can see, this does allow you the ability of getting gold challenger, gold menace, and silver clamps. Now obviously at an 87 you could have gotten Hall of Fame menace, but we had to put the point somewhere else, as we decided to go with an 86 when it comes to the steal as well. Key thinking here was we wanted to get that silver interceptor, silver glove, and then of course we wanted the extra little badge point we do get from this, because for those of you who do remember, Dwyane Wade used to take a lot of passes the other way and do some crazy things with them. On the block side of things, as I said, he does lead all time in blocks. Hold on, I messed something up. I know what it was the strength. He leads shooting guards all time in blocks, so we decided to give him a 65 when it comes to the block. I quickly got to tweak something because I messed up somewhere, because we're missing the attributes point somewhere. Let's see this. So that's correct. I know what it is. It's the damn defensive rebound. So we gave him a 65 when it came to the block, because this was the minimum we needed to get an extra badge point as well as silver chase down artist. Now obviously any higher, we wouldn't have really gotten an increase in the chase down artist level, nor would we have gotten an increase anywhere else. So we decided to go with a 65 on the block. Now as you can see, this does allow you 20 defensive badges. Key thing here is you can get anchor for 1 defensive badge point, which in my personal opinion, way too clutch to be disrespected. You can get off Hall of Fame off-ball Pest for 4, chase down artist for 2, which means you spent 7 so far, and then literally from there, it's your choice of how you want to do things here. I'd personally then most likely get workhorse. The +4 you get from having played my career, I'd slap him on defense, just because you could really get clamps, interceptor, and glove on this build, and then core challenger if you really if you set it up right. But yeah, as you can see in total, we do finish with 20 defensive, 21 playmaking, 19 shooting, and 17 finishing, giving us a grand total of 77 total badge points on this here Dwyane Wade build, before we include the +4 you get from my career, as well as the pluses you would have gotten from finishing the previous seasons of NBA 2K23 Next Gen. Now, takeover-wise, very first one you got to go with is, of course, finishing moves, because as it says, helps you absorb and finish through contact on layups, dunks, and alley-oops. I would cue the Anderson Varejao clip, but low-key we're not getting hit for copyright. And then on the secondary take, I would most likely go with something along the lines of negative impact, because it reduces the impact of shot contests against pull-ups, step backs, or spin shots. Either that or pull-up precision, just because Dwyane Wade used to knock down a few shots off the dribble in mid. Obviously you could also go with ankle breaking shots, but I personally go with either negative impact or pull-up precision, more likely leaning towards negative impact just because it reduces the impact of shot contests. But yeah, those are the 2 takeovers I go with for this build. Now, as you can see, the players that 2K gives us in the shades of for this build happen to be none other than Monte Ellis, Jaden Ivey, and Tyrese Maxey. This makes a whole lot of sense, because actually it does make a whole lot of sense in one way. Monte, I understand, because he basically lived the same way Dwyane Wade did, in that he loved to play at mid and at the hoop. Jaden Ivey basically does the same thing. It's just defensively Monte Ellis is not there. Jaden Ivey, I don't believe he's not that great of a defender. And then Tyrese Maxey's the odd anomaly here, just because he does take quite a lot of threes. And he's defensively, again, not that great of a guy. But yeah, anyway, it says the build we have happened to make here happens to be none other than a 2-way mid-range shooter, which makes a whole lot of sense, especially with the build being a 2-way and just being a knockdown from mid. So do me a favor, go ahead down below in the comments, tell me what you think about the build, whether you like it, hate it, or whether you think the Flash replica build that they had is much better than this. And also, don't forget, if you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as turning post notifications on. And lastly but not least, if you like today's video and you want to see more content like this, do me a favor, go and drop a like on the video. Anyway, it's been your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10. I'll catch you in a bit. Deuces.